Okay, so let's go ahead and get started in a child's pose today. So bring your big toes together, knees wide, sink your hips on your heels, reach your hands forward, and relax your forehead on the mat. And just take a moment to settle into this position. Settle into your body and settle into this time, this space. Bring your awareness to your breath and just notice how your breath feels naturally today. Observing the quality of your inhale and noticing the quality of your exhale. Notice if your breath is fast or slow, shallow or deep, smooth or choppy. Notice if your breath feels constricted at all. Just simply observe the natural cadence, the natural rhythm of your breath. Noticing how your breath feels on the inhale and the exhale. And take a moment, mentally scan from your head to your toes. And notice how you're feeling physically in this time and space as you scan from your head to your toes. And after completing that body scan, I invite you to take a moment
in progress.
and just turn inward. So silently acknowledge and accept how you're feeling mentally and emotionally today. Let go of any notion of how you think you should feel or how you would like to feel ideally, and give yourself permission to accept and honor how you do feel in the mind and in the heart. Maybe ask yourself, are you tired or energized? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you calm? Are you restless? Are you focused? Are you scatterbrained? Just simply observe how you're feeling mentally and emotionally. And after checking in with your breath, your body, your mind, your heart, just gently press your palms together up overhead. And just take a moment and honor yourself for showing up to this practice today to refine the body, mind, and spirit for your own sake and for all the lives that you influence. And when you're ready, I invite you to join me for 3 deep cleansing breaths. Take a deep inhale, fill up the belly first, then the ribs, then the chest. Pause, hold your breath. Then open the mouth, slowly exhale, sighing it out. Second time, take a deeper breath in, expand more through the belly, more through the ribs, the chest. Pause, hold your breath. Then open the mouth, slowly exhale. Think of releasing any physical and mental stress. Third time, take an even deeper breath in, expand through the belly, expand through the ribs, the chest. Pause, hold your breath. Maybe see if you can sniff in a little more air at the top. Then open the mouth, slowly exhale. Think of releasing any emotional stress, any mental stress, any distracting thoughts. And now I invite you to shift to Ujjayi breath. So close the lips and gently constrict the throat. Take a deep inhale through the nose. A longer breath out through the nose. Deep inhale through the nose. Longer, slower exhale through the nose. And continue to deepen your inhales and lengthen your exhales, finding your own pace, your own rhythm, as you set a personal intention for your practice. So maybe just think of a state of being that you would like to call in today. Here's a quote for inspiration by Rafe Kelly. Perhaps the greatest purpose of a movement practice is to open up our capacity to have experiences that are profoundly meaningful. So maybe think about what this quote might mean to you. Maybe set an affirmation that's physical, mental, emotional, or a combination. Something as simple as one word, perhaps, like I'm grounded, I'm centered, I'm balanced, I'm strong, I'm adaptable, I'm open, I'm healing, I'm present, I'm mindful, I'm peaceful. Any quality that's meaningful to you, I invite you to set a personal affirmation that's meaningful to you today and silently recite that affirmation 3 times for 3 deep breaths. And after your 3rd breath, your 3rd personal mantra, we'll start connecting breath to movement. So take a deep breath in, press your palms into the mat, and exhale, press yourself up to tabletop. So stacking the shoulders over the wrists, the hips over the knees, fingers spread wide. We're going to do cat-cow. So inhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, drop the belly, roll the shoulders back and down, and lift the head to cow pose. Exhale, untuck the toes, round the spine, press the mat away, draw your chin to your chest, cat pose. And practice several more. Inhale, arch the spine, gaze up to cow. And exhale, round the spine, press up to cat. Keep moving and breathing like this, finding your own pace, your own rhythm. Releasing tension in the front and back of the shoulders. Releasing tension in the front and back of the neck. Moving with your breath. Inhale to cow and exhale to cat. I encourage you to close your eyes as often as you can throughout this practice to make sure you're calming your nervous system, make sure you're focusing inward, and make sure you're listening. Focus more on listening to my verbal guidance. Only turn your head to see what I'm doing. If anything I'm saying is unclear, and that way your head will be in proper alignment. Inhale to cow and exhale to cat. Practice a few more rounds. And then when you're ready, find your neutral tabletop. Take a deep breath in, straighten your right leg back behind you. Press into the ball of the right foot and press your fingertips down and forward. So you should feel a stretch in the right calf and the hamstring. Take a deep breath in, a longer breath out. Deep breath in, slower breath out. Now on your next inhale, float the right foot up as you reach your left arm up. Then exhale, draw your right knee to your left elbow, rounding the spine, really pressing the mat away from you with your right fingertips. So we're going to practice a few more like this, working the core. Inhale, right leg back, left arm forward. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, right leg back, left arm forward. Exhale, knee to elbow. Again, inhale, right leg back, left arm forward. Exhale, knee to elbow. This time, inhale, reach front to back. Then exhale, draw your right heel to the hip. Circle the left hand around and back. Take the left hand on top of your right foot, so you're stretching your quad. So you're just pressing the right foot into the left hand. Maybe tint up your fingertips. Try to keep the shoulders square. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Deep breath in. Then exhale, gently release back to tabletop. And now we're going to thread the needle. So inhale, right arm reaches high, opening the front of the chest. Then exhale, thread the right arm underneath the left shoulder. And we'll do a couple more. So inhale, right arm reaches high, open the chest. And exhale, thread the needle. Hi, Mark. Inhale, open the chest. Then exhale, thread the needle. Then just hold here, really breathing into the upper back. Maybe walk your left fingertips forward, really opening through the left shoulder and opening through the back of the right shoulder blade. Deep breath in. Longer breath out. Maybe stay here, or maybe bring the back of the left hand to the low back and walk your left fingers toward the inner right thigh. So you're opening through the front of the left shoulder and opening through the back of the right shoulder. Releasing tension in the shoulders. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Deep breath in. Longer breath out. Deep inhale. And exhale, gently unwind. Inhale, press the left hand into the mat. Reach your right arm high. Open the chest. Exhale, back to tabletop. So now we're going to do that same sequence just on the other side. So starting from tabletop, take a deep breath in. Straighten your left leg back behind you. So you're pressing the ball of the left foot into the mat, pressing your fingertips down and forward. You should feel a stretch in the left calf and the hamstring. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Deep breath in. Slower breath out. Inhale, float your left foot, reach your right arm forward. Then exhale, navel to spine, left knee to right elbow. So you're rounding the spine, pressing down with your left fingertips and knuckles. And we'll do a few more. Inhale, lengthen the left leg and the right arm. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. This time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw your left heel to your hip. Swoop your right arm up and back. Grab the top of your left foot with your right hand. Pressing the left foot into the right hand. Opening through the chest. Opening through the quad. Maybe see if you can tent up your fingertips. Shoulders stay square. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Deep breath in. And exhale, gently release back to tabletop. So now we're going to do thread the needle on the other side. Inhale, left arm reaches high. Open through the chest and shoulder. Gaze up. And exhale, thread the left arm underneath the right shoulder. Again, inhale, left arm reaches high. Open the chest. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale, hold your thread the needle. So relaxing the left shoulder and the left ear on the mat. Maybe just breathe here, or maybe walk your right fingertips forward, opening through the right and left shoulder. Deep breath in, long breath out. Deep breath in. Exhale, maybe bring the back of the right hand to the low back and walk your right fingers toward the inner left thigh. So you're opening through the front of the right shoulder and the back of the left. Deep inhale. Slower exhale. Deep breath in. Longer breath out. Deep inhale. Slow exhale. And on your next inhale, plant your right palm into the mat. Reach your left arm all the way up and overhead. And exhale back to tabletop. Now take a deep breath in, tuck your toes. And exhale, use your core. Hug the navel to the spine as you lift your hips and lower your heels to downward dog. So pressing your fingertips down and forward, like you're trying to press the front edge of the mat away from you. Rotate the inner arches of the elbows forward. Press the shoulders away from the ears. Knit in the ribs, gaze at the belly. Pressing the heels down and out towards the earth. And then if it feels good, just pedal out the feet. Bending one knee and then the other. Moving with your breath. Maybe sway your hips, maybe rock your head. Explore any subtle movements that feel good to you in this downward dog shape, and enjoy your breath. And when you're ready, find a little stillness in your downward dog. Take a deep inhale, float the right leg high to the ceiling, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw your right heel to your hip and just stretch the hips, stretch the quad. If it feels good, circle the right knee around several times, releasing tension. Then exhale, plant the right foot back by the left. Inhale, left leg lifts high. Exhale, left heel to hip. Open the hip, open the quad. Circle the left knee around, releasing tension in the left hip. And exhale, bring the left foot back by the right. Now we're going to rotate to plank. So inhale, lift the heels, round the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae to plank. Hips line with shoulders, shoulders over wrists. Lengthening through the crown of the head, lengthening through the heels. If this is too intense, you always have the option to lower your knees in assisted plank. Pressing the mat away from you, your eyes should be between your thumbs. So take a deep inhale. Exhale, use your core. Hug the spine, hug the navel to the spine. Lift your hips and lower your heels, downward dog. So we'll do a couple more like that. Inhale, rotate to plank. And exhale, lift the hips, lower the heels, down dog. Inhale, rotate to plank. Exhale, downward dog. Again, inhale, rotate to plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look between your thumbs, and exhale, tiptoe your feet towards your hands until you arrive at a forward fold. So keep a soft micro bend of the knees. Maybe take your fists between your feet. So your feet are 2 fists apart to make sure your feet are straight. Inhale to halfway lift. Press the fingers to the shins, lengthen through the spine. Then exhale, bow forward. Again, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Again, inhale, halfway lift, flatten the back. And exhale, fold. Now grab the inner arches of your elbows and just hang heavy like a rag doll. Sway a little side to side. So you're releasing tension in the low back, releasing tension in the shoulders. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Releasing tension in the whole body. And as you breathe into this full body stretch, notice any thoughts in your mind. If your mind is trying to cling to any worries of the past, worries of the future, see if you can let those thoughts go for now. And allow your breath to ground you to the present moment. And allow your breath to anchor you to your intention. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bend the knees and slowly curl up the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Slowly stacking your heart over your hips and your head over your heart, making your way to mountain pose. So make sure the feet are just about 2 fists apart, and make sure your feet are straight, making an 11, toes spread wide. Feel your weight distribute evenly on all 4 corners of your feet. Practice rooting down through the heels, lifting the kneecaps. Practice driving the tailbone down to the earth, creating length and space in the spine. And on each exhale, practice hugging the navel in and up. Relax your shoulders back and down. Reach down through the fingertips. Draw the chin inward and lift through the crown of the head. Take a moment, feel this alignment. Feel all your muscles activate. Breathe. And take a big breath in. Swoop the hands out and overhead. Exhale, grab the left wrist. Draw the left wrist to the right. Side body stretch. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, grab the right wrist. Draw the right wrist to the left. Side body stretch. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, cactus the arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open the chest. Inhale, interlace your fingers behind you. Close your fists. And exhale, bow. Drawing the crown of the head to the earth, fists to the sky. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, release your hands down the legs in front of your feet. Now we're going to twist. So inhale, bend the right knee. Left arm reaches high. Open the left hip and the left shoulder. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the left knee. Right arm reaches high. Open the hip and shoulder. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Now bend your knees, plant your palms, and step your right leg back to a runner's lunge. So stacking the left knee over the ankle. Fingertips frame your left foot. Inhale, get lighter on the fingertips. And exhale, lower your back knee down. Inhale, arms reach up overhead, Anjaneyasana. So keeping the tailbone tucked, the navel in. Focus your eyes on something still, that's your drishti. Take a deep breath in. Then exhale, interlace your fingers behind you. Close your fists. Inhale, draw your fists back behind you. And exhale, draw your fists towards the left side of your waist. So you should feel a stretch in the front of the right shoulder as you draw both fists to the left side of the waist. Then take a deep breath in, draw your left ear to your left shoulder. And exhale, roll your chin to your chest. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, roll your chin to your chest. Do a few more rounds like this. So you have to use your core and your leg strength for balance while you breathe into these neck stretches. Inhale, ear to shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. And on your next inhale, draw your fists back behind you. Then exhale, release your hands to frame your left foot. Inhale, see if you can lunge a little deeper. Feel a stretch in the front of the right hip. Then exhale, shift your hips back. Straighten through the left leg, flex through the left foot, and bow forehead to shin. Take a deep breath in, and a long breath out. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Now inhale, lunge forward. Then exhale, plant your right palm underneath the right shoulder. Left arm reaches high. Take a deep breath in, and exhale, tuck the back toes, float the back knee. Now inhale, reach your left arm forward. Then exhale, spin on your right heel, reach your left arm back as you sink the hips. Inhale, rotate forward. Exhale, rotate the toes, sink the hips. Inhale, rotate forward. Exhale, side plank with a hip dip. Inhale, rotate forward. Exhale, side plank, hip dip. Couple more. Inhale, rotate forward. Exhale, side plank, hip dip. Inhale, rotate forward. Exhale, side plank, hip dip. Now see if you can lower your hips all the way down. Draw your right knee inward. Inhale, reach your hands up overhead. And then exhale, twist to the left. So take your right elbow on the outer left thigh. Plant your left palm behind you. Gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale as you lift up taller. And exhale, twist deeper. Inhale, lift up taller. Exhale, twist deeper. Inhale, lift up tall. And exhale, twist. Inhale, back to center. Reach your palms up. And exhale, plant your palms under your shoulders. Plant your left foot. Step back to downward dog. Take a deep breath in. A long breath out. Inhale, look between your thumbs, step your right foot there, runner's lunge. Exhale, left foot to right, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, swoop the hands out and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. So now we're going to practice that same sequence on the opposite side. Inhale, swoop the hands out and up. And exhale, grab the right wrist, side stretch to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, grab the left wrist, side stretch to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, cactus the arms, open the chest. Inhale, interlace the fingers behind you. And exhale, bow, crown to the earth, fist to the sky. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release your hands down the legs in front of your feet. Now inhale, bend your left knee, right arm reaches high, twist. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend your right knee, left arm reaches high, twist the other way. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Now bend your knees a lot, plant your palms, step your left leg back to a runner's lunge, right knee over ankle. Slide your fingertips to frame your right foot. Inhale, get lighter on the fingertips. And exhale, lower the left knee down. Inhale, hands reach up overhead, Anjaneyasana. Keeping the tailbone tucked, the navel in. Focus the eyes. Take a deep breath in, and exhale, interlace your fingers behind you. Inhale, draw your fist back, and then exhale, draw your fist towards the right side of the waist this time. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, roll your chin to your chest. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Practice a few more rounds like this. So you're opening through the front of the left shoulder, releasing tension in the neck, using your core and your leg strength for stability. Practice a few more neck rolls, moving with your breath. Inhale, ear to shoulder, and exhale, chin to chest. And on your next inhale, draw your fists back behind you, and exhale, release your hands to frame your left foot. Inhale, lunge a little deeper. Exhale, shift the hips back, straighten the right leg, flex through the right foot. Bow forehead to shin, half split. Deep breath in. Longer breath out. Deep breath in. Slower breath out. Now inhale, lunge forward, and exhale, plant the right palm under the shoulder. Reach your right arm up overhead for a twist. Now take a deep breath in, tuck your toes, and exhale, float the knee. Now take a deep inhale, and exhale, rotate to the knife side of the feet. Sink your hips as you reach your right arm back. Inhale, rotate forward, right arm reaches forward. And then exhale, side plank with a dip. Inhale, rotate forward. Exhale, rotate to the knife side of the feet, dip the hips, reach back, couple more. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach back. One more. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reach back, dip the hips, and see if you can lower your hips all the way down. Bend the left knee. So the right foot should be crossed over the left thigh, and we're going to twist. Inhale, swoop the hands up, and then exhale, twist to the left. So plant your right hand behind you, left elbow on the outer right thigh. Inhale as you lift up taller. Exhale, twist deeper. Gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale, lift up taller, and exhale, twist deeper. Inhale as you lift up tall, and exhale as you twist. Inhale, back to center, and exhale, plant your palms, step back to downward dog. Take a deep breath in, a longer breath out. Inhale, look between your thumbs, step your left foot there, runner's lunge. Exhale, right foot to left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, swoop the hands out and overhead. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And I invite you to close your eyes for the next few breaths. So just take a moment with the eyes closed. Notice how you're feeling outward in the body. And observe how you're feeling inward in the mind. If your mind has wandered elsewhere, gently bring your awareness back to your breath, back to your body, back to the intention, the affirmation you set for yourself. Now we'll practice some variations of Sun Series B. Inhale, bend the knees, sink the hips, reach the hands up, chair pose. So make sure the knees are over the ankles. Slight tuck of the tailbone, navel in, shoulders back and down. Inhale, sink the hips lower, reach the hands higher, hold for an exhale. Inhale, sink the hips lower, reach the hands higher, and exhale, straighten the legs, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Bend your knees, plant your palms, step or float to plank. Lower the knees, draw the elbows into the ribs, lower your chest and chin, hips stay raised up first. Then inhale, sink your hips, untuck the toes, pull your chest forward and up to baby cobra. Exhale, plant your palms, tuck your toes. Option to press up to assisted plank or regular plank. Then lift your hips and lower your heels, downward dog. Inhale, look between your thumbs, bend the knees, step or lightly float to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. And exhale, straighten the legs, hands to heart. Inhale, back to chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step or float back to plank. You can lower knees, chest, chin, or maybe this time try to keep the knees lifted as you lower to chaturanga. Draw the elbows into the ribs. Lower the body in one line. Want shoulders lined with elbows. Inhale, pull the chest forward and up. So you always have the option of cobra or up dog with straighter arms. Shoulders back and down. Lift through the crown of the head. Gripping the mat with the fingers and knuckles. Tops of the feet press into the mat. Maybe float your knees. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, tuck your toes. Use your core, lift your hips. Downward dog. Inhale, look between your thumbs. Bend your knees, step, or lightly float to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, straighten the legs, hands to heart. Inhale, back to chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step or float back to plank, or this time, maybe float straight back to chaturanga. Elbows over wrists, shoulders lined with elbows. Then maybe do some push-ups here. Knees can be lowered or lifted for your push-ups. And when you're ready, inhale, open the chest to cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look between your thumbs, step or float to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, hands to heart. So I invite you to join me for 3 more rounds of that basic Sun Series B. Remember your options. You can lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, cobra or up dog. You can do extra push-ups or not. Most importantly, just try to connect your breath to your movement. Inhale, back to chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step or float back to plank. Lower knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Maybe do an extra push-up. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, travel to the front, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, go through your own variation of vinyasa. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, travel to the front, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, vinyasa. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, travel to the front, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. And exhale, straighten the legs, hands to heart. And I invite you to close your eyes for the next few breaths. Take a moment, take inventory. Notice how your breath feels, how your body feels. Notice the thoughts in your mind. Let go of any thoughts that may not be serving you well. Bring your awareness back to your intention, your mantra. When you're ready, open the eyes. Find a still point in front of you to gaze at. That's your drishti. Make sure your feet are aligned properly in mountain pose. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, shift your weight to your left foot. Draw your right knee to your chest. Now just keep it floating here. You have to engage the core to keep it floating. Focus the eyes. We're going to pulse the right knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now inhale, press the right leg back behind you, arms reach forward, warrior 3. Right toes face down, lift through the inner right thigh to square the hips. We're going to pulse the right heel for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now inhale, reach the hands forward, the right leg back. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart, tap the right knee to the right elbow. Inhale, reach front to back. Exhale, knee to elbow. Couple more. Inhale, reach front to back. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach front to back. Exhale, knee to elbow. This time, inhale, reach front to back. Exhale, bend the left knee and lower the right foot back behind you. Back to a crescent lunge. So the left knee is over the ankle and the right heel's over the ball of the right foot. Tailbone tucked, navel in, shoulders back and down. Now take a deep breath in and exhale, bend the right knee to hover as you turn the torso, left arm back, right arm forward. We're going to do a few more like this. So inhale, straighten the right leg, arms up, face forward. Exhale, bend the right knee to hover, left arm back, right arm forward, twist. A few more. Inhale, straighten to crescent lunge, eyes on your drishti. Exhale, lower the right knee to hover, look at your left thumb. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, twist and lower. Look at the left thumb. Again, inhale, look forward. Exhale, twist and lower. Look at the left thumb. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, twist and lower. Look at the left thumb. This time, inhale, crescent lunge. Then exhale, ground through the right heel, straighten the left leg, and bow, pyramid pose. So you're driving the left hip back in space, drawing your forehead to your shin. Maybe stay here or try a twist. Inhale, left arm reaches high. So you're opening through the left hip and the left shoulder. Eyes on the left fingertips. Stay here, or maybe see if you can take your right hand on the outside of the left ankle. That's optional. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Deep breath in. And exhale, lower the hands, bend the left knee. So hands underneath shoulders. Inhale, left leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, optional, three-legged chaturanga. See if you can keep your left leg lifted. Inhale to open the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look between the thumbs, step or float to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. And exhale, straighten the legs, hands to heart. I invite you to close your eyes for the next few breaths. Just take a moment. Notice how you're feeling in the body. Notice how you're feeling in the mind. Let go of any distracting thoughts, such as judgment, inner criticism. Let go of expectation. Bring your awareness back to your personal intention, back to your mantra. And when you're ready, we'll explore that same sequence on the opposite side. Inhale, shift your weight to your right foot, draw your left knee to your chest. So focus your eyes on your drishti. Make sure your right foot's in alignment. We're going to pulse the left knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now take a deep breath in. Exhale, press your left leg back behind you. Shift your drishti down, warrior 3. Lift through the inner left thigh to square the hips. It's okay to have a micro bend in that right knee. Left toes face down. We're going to pulse the left foot for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now inhale, reach front to back. Then exhale, hands to heart. Tap the left knee to the left elbow. A few more like this. Inhale, reach front to back. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach front to back. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach front to back. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, reach front to back. Exhale, bend the right knee. Gently lower your left toes down. And inhale, rise up to crescent lunge. Right knee over ankle. Left heel over the ball of the left foot. Tailbone tuck, navel in. Focus the eyes forward at first. Now take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the left knee to hover as you reach your right arm back and your left arm forward for a twist. Eyes on the right thumb now. We'll flow between these shapes. Inhale, crescent lunge, back to center. Exhale, bend the left knee to hover as you twist. Eyes on the right thumb. Inhale, crescent lunge. Focus on your drishti. Exhale, bend and twist. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, lower and twist. Inhale, lift to crescent. Exhale, lower and twist. Inhale, lift to crescent. Exhale, lower and twist. This time, inhale, back to crescent. Exhale, ground your left heel, straighten the right leg, bow, pyramid pose. So driving the right hip back in space, drawing the forehead to the shin. Deep breath in, long breath out. Maybe stay here or try a twist. Inhale, right arm reaches high. Exhale, stay here or take the left hand on the outer right ankle. Eyes on the right thumb. Opening the right hip and the right shoulder. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Deep breath in. Exhale, bend the right knee. Plant your palms under your shoulders. Inhale, right leg back, three-legged dog. And exhale, optional, three-legged chaturanga. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, look between your thumbs, bend your knees, step or flip to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. And exhale, straighten the legs, hands to heart. Close the eyes for the next few breaths. Just take a moment, take inventory. Notice how you're feeling in the body, in the mind. Bring your awareness back to your personal mantra, your intention. When you're ready, open the eyes, find your drishti. Inhale, lift up the heels, arms reach forward. Exhale, using your core. See how slow you can lower your hips on your heels. Then bring your hands to your heart. We're going to twist. Left elbow to outer right thigh. Focus your eyes up on the ceiling. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, right elbow to outer left thigh. Eyes on the ceiling. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, back to center. Reach your hands forward. Exhale, gently lower your hips, but see if you can keep your hips just an inch up off the mat. So we're going to work the core, tapping the toes to the hands. Inhale, tap the left toes to the left hand. Exhale, lower. Inhale, right toes to right hand. Exhale, lower. Now, if this is too much, you can lower the knees and do the same motions. So just try a few more rounds. You get to choose which option you want to challenge yourself with. If the hips are raised, this will feel a lot more challenging. Take a few more breaths here. And then we're going to make our way to boat pose. So plant your feet, lower your hips, lean back. So option 1 is to stay here. Option 2 is to float your feet. Option 3 is to straighten your legs. Option 4, inhale to low boat. Exhale to high bow. Choose which option calls to you. Last little bit of intense core here, so make it count. Think about your willpower, the ability to accomplish anything you set your mind to. When you're ready, bring your feet together, knees wide. Inhale, lift up tall, and then exhale, bow forward. Just breathing into the hips. Deep breaths in. Long breaths out. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Deep breath in. And exhale, gently curl the spine up. Extend your right leg to the right. Left foot to inner right thigh. Inhale as you lift up tall. And exhale, draw your forehead to your right shin. Inhale, lengthen more through the spine. Exhale, bow deeper. Inhale, lengthen more. Exhale, deepen. Inhale, reach the hands up. And exhale, plant your left palm behind you. Inhale, lift the hips so you're opening through the chest. Arm reaches up and overhead. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Deep breath in. And exhale, lower the hips and just switch legs. Extend the left leg to the left. Right foot to inner left thigh. Inhale, lift up tall. And exhale, forehead to left shin. Inhale, lengthen more through the spine. And exhale, bow deeper. Inhale, find more extension through the spine. And exhale, find more depth. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, plant your right palm behind you. Point the toes. See if you can lift your hips. Left arm reaches up and overhead. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower the hips. And then draw your knees to your chest. Plant your feet. Inhale, reach your hands forward. And exhale, slowly with control. Curl the spine all the way down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Making our way to a bridge pose. Maybe take a moment, think about any specific qualities you might want to invite into your heart today. Relax the shoulders back and down. Plant your palms, eyes on the ceiling. Inhale, press into the feet, tuck in the tailbone, lift the hips until you feel a gentle opening in the chest. Head straight, chin lifted. Maybe interlace the fingers behind you, tucking the shoulders under the shoulder blades. Maybe lift up the heels. And as you breathe into your variation of bridge pose, maybe think of inviting specific qualities into the heart space. Qualities perhaps like patience, forgiveness, understanding, compassion, love for others, for yourself. Inhale, lift the hips higher, open the heart more, and exhale, slowly lower the hips all the way down. Cross your right leg over the left. Scoot your hips an inch to the right. Open the arms wide. Take a big breath in. And exhale, rotate the knees to the left as you gaze to the right for a deep twist. Deep breath in. Slower breath out. Take a few more breaths here. Maybe visualize wringing out the spine of toxins or impurities. And with each exhale, think of releasing any energy that's no longer serving your highest good. On your next exhale, when you're ready, release the twist, switch sides. Cross the left leg over the right, zip up the thighs, scoot your hips an inch to the left. Big breath in. And exhale, rotate the knees to the right, gaze to the left. Deep inhale. Longer exhale. Maybe visualize wringing out the spine of toxins. And with each slow exhalation, maybe think of releasing any energy that's no longer serving you well. And on your next exhale, slowly release this. When you're ready, take a deep breath in, draw both knees to your chest, and exhale, happy baby. Grab the outer edges of the feet, stretch the legs, stretch the hips. And maybe play with straightening one leg, straightening the other. Maybe straighten both. Just take the next few breaths to tune into your body. Any stretches, any movements your body's telling you it needs. Honor that for the next few breaths. And whenever you feel ready, bring the soles of your feet together. Lower your feet beneath your hips. Maybe take your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your navel, or grab the inner arches of the elbows up overhead. Close the eyes. Deep breath in. Longer breath out. Allow your breath to grow longer and deeper. Allow your breath to self-soothe and self-heal. Send yourself gratitude for your practice, for showing up, working hard, maybe trying something new, maybe pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, prioritizing self-care and growth for your sake, for others. Maybe bring your awareness back to your personal intention now. Perhaps the greatest purpose of a movement practice is to open up our capacity to have experiences that are profoundly meaningful. Whenever you feel ready, gently extend your legs long. Allow your toes to rotate outward. Allow your hands to rest on either side of the hips. Open the palms, close the eyes. Completely surrender to gravity in Shavasana. Allow the body and the mind to absorb, integrate, heal from your practice. And I'll be silent for the next couple minutes as we invite healing and integration in Shavasana. Gently bring your awareness back to your breath, back to your body. Maybe gently circle your wrists, circle your ankles, maybe rock your head, inviting gentle movement back into the body. If it feels right for you, on an inhale, do a full body stretch. And as you exhale, gently roll to one side of your body. Keeping your eyes closed and your awareness inward, take your time as you gently press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Noticing the quality of your breath now. Notice if your breath feels different from when we started. Notice if your body feels different. Take a moment, observe any subtle shifts in your mood, your mind, your energy. Perhaps reflect on your personal intention. I'll do 3 cleansing breaths, and the third time I'll chant Om to seal our practice with peace. I hope you join. Deep inhale, fill up the belly, the ribs, the chest. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Inhale, fill up all the way. Nice long cleansing exhale, let it go. Inhale for Om. Bring your hands to your heart, and if you'd like to join me for a final moment of gratitude, just think of something in your life that you feel grateful for today. And allow this grateful feeling to grow, wash over you, and may this grateful feeling carry with you. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel challenged and worked out, stretched out, calm, centered. Please let me know if you have any questions, concerns, or any specific requests for next time. But otherwise, go in peace, and thank you for joining. So everybody who is following along, make sure you hydrate. Probably sweated a fair amount. Hi John, how are you? Great to see you.
Recording stop.
How are you doing, John? Mopar, how are you feeling? I'm going to catch up with the chat here. So now after the full hour of yoga is over, now is an opportunity to be a little more interactive with me. So if you have any additional questions, you want any additional guidance or support, please let me know, and I'd be happy to share any additional guidance or support. Petey, if you're there and you want to do a Kriya, we can. Oh, thank you, John. Best yoga stream on Twitch. That is so sweet. I don't know what R Nandan says. All you say is dislocate, so that's weird. Thank you, John. You're so sweet. I appreciate you. Thank you for following me, Trick Z12. Thank you for following me, White for Eagle, and Standy12, Vanquish Platinum Games. Thanks for the follows. Hi, Jim. So we just finished the full hour of Vinyasa Yoga, but if you want any additional support, I'd be happy to be a little more interactive with you now. I like to take the first hour to just kind of really get in the yoga zone. So for folks wanting a full hour class, I teach that the way I teach all my other classes, my corporate classes, and at the yoga studios and businesses I work for. So I just teach a full hour class like that. But now it's time to be interactive and chit chat. Aw, thank you, Petey. I'm grateful for the inspiring movement you shared today. Thank you, Petey. So you want to do a kriya? What's one of your favorite kriyas? I know you said Sat Nam. We can do that. Before we do, I'm going to have to rehydrate though. Before we get into the kriya, anybody watching who is following along with the sequence, first, if you have any questions about the sequence that I shared for the last hour, just let me know if you want any additional guidance on that. And then if not, we'll do a kriya. John, you gifted a sub to Petey? That is so nice. I did the little toe touches from the squat. Haha. I have to really lean my weight all the way forward. Yeah, doing the toe touches from the squat is tricky. It requires a lot of core. But I'm glad you didn't fall all the way backwards. It's pretty easy to kind of fall backwards. As long as you fall safely, rounding the spine, like a gentle spinal roll. Falling isn't always bad. All right, so we're going to do a little celebratory dance since John so nicely gifted Petey a sub. Thank you, John. Woohoo! Yay! Feel free to dance with me. Dancing in chaos. Thank you, John. That's so nice of you. Yeah, I'm impressed that you were able to do the toe touches from the squat, because that requires a lot of balance and coordination. You have to really lean forward when you're doing them. Sometimes it helps to spread your feet wider too. And it really builds strength in your psoas, your hip flexor area, which can get really tight from sitting. So for those of you who sit a lot, that's why exercises like that are really good for you. I read somewhere recently that sitting is the new smoking, meaning like sitting and being sedentary and not moving can be as harmful for you as smoking. Movement is medicine. John, you're so sweet. How are you doing today, John? I noticed you've been commenting on my YouTube videos. So remember, I have 2 YouTube channels. I have one for yoga, health, and wellness, and then another one where I just post some like comedy sketches and parodies and some of my acting work, some clips from films I worked on. So remember, I have 2 different YouTubes. If you like this sequence today and you want to see my YouTube channel, oh wait, I didn't do that right. YogaTube. There we go. That's the link. It's just Yoga Flow with Kim. Yoga Flow with Kim. There's a lot of other videos on there. Some of them are like full body vinyasa sequences with lots of different challenges, kind of like what we did today. And then others on there are a little more gentle, a little more basic. I have long sequences, short sequences. I have sequences centered around the chakras, lots of different options. So feel free to check out my YouTube channel. Doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. Just click subscribe. It's free content. For those of you who did enjoy my practice and you want to donate something, my donation link is right there. It's just yogaflowwithkim.online/donate. So even like a few dollars is helpful, whatever you can afford. Just helps support my work and helps to make sure I can continue to coming on here and sharing these practices on Twitch. So yeah, every Tuesday and Thursday I like to come on and share a full body vinyasa sequence followed by chatting. So now we're just getting into the just chatting part. Looks like I have a handful of people watching, so feel free to introduce yourself. Let me know where you are in the world. Say hello. And if you have any questions about the sequence I did today, now's the time to ask. Otherwise, we'll get into a Kriya pretty soon here. So PD, if you want to think of your favorite Kriya, I'm going to go rehydrate, and I'll be right back. Hi there. I'm back. Oh, Mopar says, Mopar must have fallen asleep in Shavasana. Now, it is pretty easy to fall asleep in Shavasana, but... Oh, you had kitty yoga today? So did your cat keep interfering when you were practicing? Down dog means pet kitty. I also, same as child's pose, kitty really likes the child's pose. I'm sure, I know some people, whenever you're practicing yoga and a pet is around, especially a cat will jump on you. Oh, you made green tea with honey? Sounds really good, Mopar. Vanquish says, I really need to stretch more. Well, you've come to the right place. What do you like to do for stretch when you sit a lot? My hips feel tight from sitting at the office. Yes, I'm a certified yoga teacher. I've been teaching yoga professionally for 5 years, almost 6 years now. I work for Kaiser Permanente and different corporations in Atlanta. I also have my own personal coaching business. I teach anywhere from Vinyasa Yoga, like what we did today, to restorative stretch. So I teach a variety of different styles of yoga and meditation. I'm also a certified Tai Chi instructor and a certified nutrition specialist. So I got on Twitch just to connect with people that aren't just in my area and help spread health and wellness and hopefully inspire people to get interested in yoga and health. So to answer your question, were you following along with the yoga sequence that I shared today? Because I offered a lot of demonstration about how to open the hips. Nutrition sounds complicated since everyone has different bodies. Yeah, so when it comes to nutrition, you do have to, it is very individualized. Oh, you weren't following along? Okay. So you're welcome to go back and look at the recording because it'll be saved, but I can go ahead and show you some more stretches and kind of review what we did. So for people sitting a lot in a desk, one of the simplest ones, which we did today, bringing your feet together, knees wide, bowing forward. Also leaning back, drawing the knees to the chest, and just gently swaying the knees side to side. Basically everything we did today, we did some Anjaneyasana practice like this. This helps stretch the psoas. We did some twisting to side plank with hip dips like this. And we also did a lot more, but the simplest thing you can do is just kind of gently rotating the knees side to side, bringing the feet together, and bowing forward. Child's pose is what we started in, which is also a good one. We also did a nice stretch like this, where one leg is bent, one leg is straight, and then you bow towards the straight leg. Whatever you do on one side, you want to make sure you do the same thing on both sides so you're balanced. So those are just some of the moves we did today, but feel free to go back, watch the video, and then reach out to me if you have any questions. And butterfly, are you crunching your spine forward? Sometimes I keep it erect when I go down. Yeah, it's best to try to keep your spine straight without forcing it, because you don't want to add tension in the body. So yes, I usually keep my spine straight when I'm doing the butterfly stretch as well. Yeah, we can do Satkriya. I also really like this movement where you sit in hero's pose and exhale deeply all the way out, while quickly lowering your head all the way to the floor. On the inhale, you quickly raise all the way back up. I think I've done something like that before. So, I do use foam rollers to help get into the fascia. Foam rollers can be really helpful to release tension for myofascial release. Foam rolling or rolling on tennis balls or other types of massage balls can help with myofascial release. Mopar, did you like all the shoulder opening? We did a lot of shoulder stretches today. Yeah, you use foam rollers and massage. Yeah, those tools can be very helpful. I like getting massages too, but it's expensive and sometimes they don't try hard. Yeah, so whenever you get massages, it's important to let your masseuse know what kind of pressure, if you want soft pressure or deep tissue. So that way they know to go deeper. And you can always tell your masseuse that you want deeper pressure. So always good to communicate with your masseuse. Yes, these shoulder stretches felt really nice. There was a loud sound from my shoulder and it felt nice, no pain. Oh, so you're an athlete. Very cool. So what kinds of sports do you play? So when you say loud sound, do you mean kind of like a popping motion? Yeah, yeah. Sometimes when you hear a little popping, that's normal. That all that means is like you're releasing gas, so that's good. um, oh, you do kickboxing, strength and conditioning. Awesome. So a lot of Vinyasa Yoga is good for strength and conditioning well. Um, there's different styles of yoga. So if you're not very familiar with all the styles of yoga, you may or may not know that certain styles of yoga can also be about strength and conditioning. And then other styles of yoga are more about recovery and rest and restorative. So usually on Twitch for the classes I've been teaching here, I do more of like an active vinyasa practice for all levels. So we work on a little strength, and then we also work on, of course, flexibility and stress relief, balance. But we always add strength as well. I offer those options because I never know who's going to show up to this Twitch stream. In my real life, outside of Twitch, I teach a lot of private clients, one-on-one. Yoga classes basically customized towards their needs. So for people wanting to build strength and to sculpt their body and to get stronger, or people who want to lose weight, I make those yoga practices a lot more active. Yeah, but it's good that you say that because recovering from a workout is very, very important. Recovery is very important. You can't just push yourself all the time because you have to give your time muscles to grow and you have to give yourself plenty of rest. So your muscles, that's where the growth happens, is during the rest. Oh no, you have a herniated disc. Well, yoga can be helpful for things like that. We did some spinal twists. You want to be careful with spinal twists. You never want to push too hard. But we did a lot of twisting and stretching that can be helpful. And And I always try to include those in my group classes. But I'm sorry to hear that. The good news is, though, it can be managed. I got adjusted one time and it helped for a couple weeks and the muscle memory went back to where it was. Yeah. Chiropractic adjustments can be helpful as well. And that's the thing with a compressed disc or a herniated disc. Yes, it can suck sometimes, but with the right type of exercise and resting, and also nutrition has a lot to do with it as well. Eating healthy. The healthier we eat, the more our bodies will naturally heal. And things like that can be managed. I just got adjusted one time. Oh, I just read that. Yeah, I eat healthy and work out, but sometimes I eat a donut. I'm super lean and never get fat, even if my diet falls off, but sugar still isn't good. It makes me crash. Yeah. Well, that's good that you eat healthy most of the time. Sugar is probably one of the worst things we can have unless it's from a natural source like honey or maple or agave, or from fruit. Refined sugar is what we want to avoid, and high fructose corn syrup. Because what that does is it basically I like honey before a workout. Yeah, that's great. But a donut every once in a while isn't going to kill you as long as you eat it in moderation, right? But for cellular growth and for healing on a cellular level, I can't talk today, cellular level, eating a lot of antioxidants and raw produce can be helpful for healing cellular and promoting cellular growth. Pasta and bread makes me feel sleepy. Yeah, anything with gluten or wheat. Gluten can be tough for anyone, whether you have an allergy or not. A lot of people are walking around not really tuned into their bodies, so they're not really aware of how much gluten is affecting them. And it's also the way wheat is processed in the U.S. The way wheat is processed in other countries is healthier. But the way wheat's processed in the U.S. can cause a lot of inflammation, as well as cow's milk and dairy products. So, oh, you listen to Joe Rogan? I love Joe Rogan. I listened to Joe Rogan podcast, and he said that there is this treatment for compressed disc. Oh, they inject some liquid for the compressed disc, and it will help the disc to recover. That's not like permanent solution, but it will last long. Yeah, so I've heard of like acupuncture and different like Chinese healing techniques where they basically take little needles and they inject fluid. You just want to do your research on that before trying those things. Do your own research. Research the sources. Do as much research before you try to inject things. Of course. The only time I consume a lot of sugar on purpose is drinking Pedialyte after intense training. Hey, that sounds good. Pedialyte is a great way to rehydrate. Also, coconut water is a great way to rehydrate. Coconut water has a lot of electrolytes, potassium and sodium. So coconut water is a good recovery drink, as well as Pedialyte to rehydrate. Coconut water is almost the equivalent of an IV if you're drinking it, if it's organic coconut water. You just don't want to drink it out of a can, so avoid that. I bought the reverse hyper because of Rogan, but it didn't help. What's the reverse hyper? What is that? True, and go to doctor and special doctors for treatments. Yes, I love coconut water too. Oh, I used to do hot yoga. Yeah, hot yoga, some people love it and you're sweating out toxins, and because you're so hot, your muscles can be a little more open, but you're also more likely to overextend and dehydrate. So I'd personally not a fan of hot yoga, but some people love it. Yeah, coconut water is the best refreshing thing after being hot, for sure. Coconut is one of those things people will like or hate. Yeah. Some people either love it or hate it. That's true. Reverse hyper is a piece of gym equipment. It's easier for you to look at it than me explaining. Oh, okay. Well, if you want to share a link, or if you want to join our Discord and share the link that way, I just shared our little Discord link. So if you feel like chatting or sharing any links outside of Twitch, that's the best way to do it. Or I can just look up reverse hyper. Yeah. Got it. Reverse hyper. Cool. So Mopar, how did Kitty like your yoga class today? You think Kitty got a good yoga class? I definitely like the Joe Rogan podcast. Anytime I listen to it, I feel like I just feel like he's very knowledgeable. He's a smart guy, and he always has interesting guests and interesting conversations. So that's cool. You guys are into Joe Rogan too. Joe Rogan is like the podcast of all podcasts, I feel. I know. Media hates on him because he's super open-minded, but I try not to buy into the whole media hyping up drama. I feel like the news is a business. The news is a business. The media is a business. They just want to share stories that sell, and sometimes drama or ridiculing somebody, trying to make someone look bad or evil. Unfortunately, that gets a lot of attention, but I try not to feed into that. So I use my own critical thinking skills. Media just needs something to talk about since podcasts are taking off. Right. They probably feel threatened by Joe Rogan because he debunks a lot of misconceptions, and they probably feel threatened by him. He's a threat to certain types of businesses and propaganda. I like how Joe brings up the leftist bias that exists on social media sites like Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Yeah. I mean, that's true. I feel like every platform is going to have some sort of political bias, and so you can take it or leave it. You can choose to ignore it, or you can pay attention to it and let it consume you. I feel like, you should consume media in moderation, because too much social media, too much media stimulation isn't really healthy for your brain, especially when there's a lot of things out there that you don't know what to trust. So, but yeah, I do appreciate the Joe Rogan podcast. Exactly, Mopar. Every media has some sort of agenda. Or everyone's usually leaning on one side more than the other. That's just how the world goes, how the cookie crumbles. I don't like how people can get canceled or lose their job because of an opinion they share online. No, I agree. I think cancel culture is like a cancer. Free speech is supposedly what the country was founded on, so and being able to speak freely and criticize the government and criticize policies, whether you're right or wrong, it can help things improve. Free speech helps things get better. So canceling someone for sharing an opinion, whether it's right or wrong, is counterproductive. Nothing good comes from canceling people. What I like about Joe is he says that he is friends with people of different ideologies, and that's totally okay. Yeah, me too. I'm the same way. Like, just because you don't necessarily agree with me on every issue 100%, that doesn't mean we can't be friends. Because there's more to people than just their political ideology. There's more to a human being than that. And sometimes it's okay to just agree to disagree, but we can still get along and respect each other. So I like that too. Oh, so you're not on like Instagram or Facebook, Vanquish? You're not on any of the others? Back pain is really super low these days. Oh, good. I haven't been exercising a lot. I'm trying to organize a routine. Well, I'm glad your back pain has been really low. Yeah, having a consistent routine can really help, John. Were you able to practice any of the movements I shared today in my class on Twitch? Aw, I'm happy Kitty was happy. You're in the center. You hate both sides equally. Yeah. I feel like both sides have their elements of flawed logic, unfortunately. I do. Well, there is cat-cow pose, so we have done cat pose. Yeah. Even stupid opinions are welcome. I mean, you can debate somebody respectfully. Like, there's a way of like arguing with someone or debating respectfully. Having a healthy discussion where you allow somebody to speak, you listen to their opinion, and you say, "Thank you for sharing. This is why I disagree," without like being disrespectful. There is a way to do this. It's called healthy communication. A lot of people don't understand. You don't have to hate on someone for having a different opinion. And who knows, because hating on that person is not going to help change their opinion at all. Being kind to them and at least listening to them is going to create a little more unity and a little more connection. By hating on someone or canceling someone, all that does is create more disconnection and more division. So that's one thing I kind of like to talk about a lot is, yoga is a philosophy about unity. It's not dogmatic. It's not about any particular religion or any particular ideology. Anyone can practice yoga. Yoga is about unity of the mind and body, but yoga is also about unity among all living beings, no matter what your ideology is, your religion, your background. Because it reminds us that we all are human, and we all have more in common than we have. We all have more in common than we have differences. We are all living and breathing human beings. We all have basic needs that we need to fill. We can focus on our commonalities instead of our political differences or religious differences. The commonalities are what will help us feel more connected, and yoga does that. Yeah, it's hard to find somebody who shares your exact opinion on every little thing. Everyone's going to think a little differently. Well, good for you, Vanquish, for not getting too soaked up in the social media world. I use my social media as sort of a business marketing tool and just to try to connect with people and inspire people. So I try to use my social media for the good, but I try not to be on it too much. You did a few movements from the chair. Okay, so you were able to do some of what we did in the chair. Great. Sometimes just practicing in a chair can be really helpful. Yep, frog pose is a great pose. Can't we all just get along? I know, right, Mopar? Oh, I have been on Reddit before. Yeah, I have been on Reddit before. I don't really get on it very much at all, though. I haven't been on it in a long time. Oh, well. Look who decided to say hello, stranger. Unsolved Mysteries. How are you? Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train, going anywhere. How you doing, Unsolved Mystery? Any thoughts on those electronic muscle stimulating machines? Oh, interesting you asked. So after I had that car accident and someone rear-ended me, my neck was really stiff. I went to a holistic doctor who gave me one of those. It's sort of like a TENS unit, but it actually helps stimulate healing because it matches your frequency. And I will say I've been feeling better since I've been using it. So, yeah, I think that they have some merit. I think they have some validity. That's the thing. It's like I don't know how powerful they are, but I think they have some merit at least. Yeah, rocking back and forth in frog pose can be really helpful for sure. DMCA, Kim? Oh, do you mean I was singing the song? I think as long as I don't play music, I think you can sing a lyric or two a cappella. I know what you meant. I don't think I'm gonna get copyright infringement for singing a few songs to a small town girl a cappella. I did not write that song, just if anyone's watching. I'm not taking credit for the song. Everybody knows that I definitely didn't write. But I think what happened last time when I was doing that, I was actually playing music from YouTube. So I think that's what the issue was. Could be wrong though. Maybe I shouldn't sing a cappella either. I know, long time no see, Unsolved Mystery. What's a figure 4, teacher? I'm going over my notes. Oh, figure 4? Figure 4 is reclined pigeon. So it helps reduce back pain. I'm going to show you figure 4. So if you lie flat on your mat, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, keeping your left foot flexed. So this is a figure 4. Now, gently lift up your bottom foot, and then you can interlace your fingers kind of behind the left leg, drawing the knee to the chest until you feel a stretch in the right hip. So if the right ankle's on top of the left thigh, you should feel a stretch in the right hip. But you want to keep the tailbone flat, so the back is flat. You want to relax the shoulders, relax the head, and remember, deep, slow breaths. You can do a little bit of rocking too in figure 4. If that's too intense, you can keep the left foot down and just kind of rock side to side, keeping the figure 4. What this does is open the psoas, the hip flexor area, and stretch the piriformis, which can help alleviate back pain. So this is a figure 4. And remember, whatever you do on one side, it's important you do the same thing on the other side so you're balanced. Any questions about figure 4? Yeah, I like it when yoga teachers assist in postures too. Occasionally, I will try to take classes. My teaching schedule, my work schedule is pretty busy, but sometimes if I have downtime, I still try to take classes because as much as I love teaching, I also love being a student. And whenever I take a class and the teacher does the hands-on assists, it's really helpful. I do a lot of hands-on assists with students who are comfortable and who want the hands-on assists. But since COVID became a thing, I stopped doing as many hands-on assists in group classes. But in private classes, I still do those, as long as the students are comfortable and want that. I always ask. You're welcome, John. Yeah, pigeon can be a hard one, depending on how open your hips are. And pigeon or reclined pigeon, otherwise known as figure 4, you always want to just push to a subtle edge of resistance, not pain. So you never want to feel pain. You just want to feel some work happening, some change happening. So you have to honor your own edge of resistance. It's going to be different for everyone. So your pigeon pose is going to look different than mine. Mine's going to look different from yours. It's going to look different for everyone. You ever practice pranasaj? So what is pranasaj? Is that like breathwork and massage or something? Any tips on frog pose? I get a good hip stretch, but my upper body feels like it could be aligned better. So in frog pose, you can actually do cat-cow with the upper back. You don't have to have a super straight, rigid. That's the other thing. It's like, I know you asked earlier about keeping the spine straight. So it's good to have like a straight spine in a lot of postures, but if you're forcing it and pushing for it, that creates tension in the spine. So in frog pose, I like to think of just more of relaxing into frog pose. And don't worry if your spine rounds a little bit or arches a little bit. You can also play with the cat-cow motion in frog pose. Yeah, I'll show you really quickly if you want to see it. So frog pose, there's different ways to get into it. An easy way is just to come down on your forearms from tabletop. And then widen your knees, keeping the feet flexed. And then sink your hips till you feel an edge of resistance. And then you can just do cat-cow like this. It can feel really good to do cat-cow in frog pose. It's really good for the spine. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if your back is stiff, that's a reason why cat-cow is really good for you. To release tension in the shoulders. Cat-cow is one of the healthiest things you can do for your spinal health. So doing a cat-cow, arching and rounding of the spine while you're in frog pose, it can feel really good. And remember, always connecting breath to movement. So you inhale to cow and then you arch to cat pose as you exhale. The breath is really the most important part of any yoga practice, deepening and lengthening the breath to oxygenate your muscles, to calm your nervous system. Yeah, it's one of those things in public. It's normal. People feel self-conscious about doing it in public, but you just have to get over that. It's just a stretch, we all have bodies, we're all human, like it's just a stretch. You shouldn't feel self-conscious about that stuff. Yeah. Well, frogs are walking around all the time. Do frogs feel self-conscious just for being frogs and being in that position? No. So why should human beings feel self-conscious? You're just making a shape with your body. That's how I look at it. Nobody should be judging you, and if they are, then that's their problem. Or if they're trying to sexualize you or objectify you in some way, that's their problem. Because all you're doing is stretching, moving your body. So how they view what you're doing shouldn't matter to you. Yeah, I know in gym scenarios, what I've noticed, I used to go to LA Fitness all the time, and then I canceled my membership just because COVID became a thing, and I stopped going for a while. And then the more I practiced power Vinyasa Yoga, even yoga with weights, the more I realized I don't need to go to a gym to get a full body workout. So I stopped going. But one thing I didn't like about the gym is looks people give you. And I've noticed guys can size each other up and be competitive, and yeah, no, I get that. That's why it's nice to practice on your own so you don't have to worry about people watching you. But the other thing is everybody should go to a gym because they want to work out. Oh, hi, Jack. How are you? If you go to a gym because you want to compare yourself to other people, or you want to watch people work out in a creepy way, then that's your problem. I say do what feels good to you at the gym and ignore any weird people watching. Especially if you're paying for a gym membership. You should be able to go to the gym without worrying about, because if you're worried about what they're thinking when they're watching, or if they're watching, that's giving them power. But if you just completely ignore them, focus on your own practice, your own routine, then they're not winning. And you don't have to, because it doesn't really matter what they're thinking. Who cares? They're just some random stranger. Another lovely day to live in. Saw your story on a car. Oh, you mean on my Instagram? Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. So I agree, John. I believe you, John, that you watch to learn, not to creep. I appreciate that. I'm the same way. Yeah, so the weirdest thing, Jack, my car light came loose a while ago. I was parked in front of a child care center where I was teaching kids yoga. And as soon as my class was out, I came outside and somebody had bumped in. Those parking spaces there are super, super tight and small. So I think somebody accidentally backed into my car and then left without saying anything. So after that, if you notice like the front corner light, there's a cord that attaches it to your car. So even if the light itself becomes loose, the cord itself keeps the light from falling off the car completely. So it's a very strong, when I say cord, it's like thick and it's got all these connections. So since then, I had the light taped on the front of my car with duct tape. Now, I had like 7 different layers of duct tape on my light. 7 different layers taped on there. And occasionally, like if it rained, the tape would come loose, but I'd hear the light immediately. I'd hear it like bouncing on the side of my car while I was driving. And then I'd pull over and I see the tape came loose. And then I just tape it back up. But the cord that holds the light to the car doesn't just come loose. Like it takes a special tool to undo the cord. You have to use like crazy scissors or a special tool to detach the light, to detach it. So, so the other day I was teaching at the Gwinnett County Courthouse and I was parked there. And then I drove straight to my next class, which was a yoga studio. Then after that class was over, I walked outside and I saw that my front light had been removed and all the tape had come off of it. And looking at the cord that was attached, someone had to deliberately unattach that cord. It couldn't have just fallen off on its own. So I guess somebody was really desperate for a corner light. I don't know what would make someone that desperate for a corner light on an old Toyota Camry that doesn't cost much. Like, I don't know how somebody could be that desperate to just steal one. But, it was the weirdest thing. So that's that story, Jack. I hope it was entertaining. Hello, Christoph. How are you? I focus on my own thing in the gym and shut everyone out of my vision. I do too. Back when I used to go to the gym, I would do the same thing. I would shut everyone out and I would focus on my own workout. And if anybody would try to talk to me like a stranger, I would usually say like, I'm not here to socialize. I'm here to work out. And then they leave me alone. I like to do yoga while on THC. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I've never done that. But you can also just use your breath and do special breathing techniques to help you gain awareness. So when you say awareness of your body, THC, it can actually make you less aware. So it makes you less focused and less centered. So it's interesting that you feel like it makes you more aware, but I feel like most people would say the opposite. You feel your muscles more. Interesting. Well, I've never done any type of yoga on THC, so I do not have a personal story to relate. I got a lot of people come talk to me at the gym, but soon my timer goes off. I stop talking to them and start my next set. Most of them just, I know there's different types of weed that have different effects. But again, I'm not a connoisseur of THC or weed or marijuana or whatever you want to call it. I don't smoke anything like that because it's not good for your lungs. And I grew up with really bad asthma. And as a health coach, I would not recommend
that. But, if that's your thing, I'm not going to judge you much. Most of them just love to ask questions. So what kinds of questions do you get asked, Jack? Like, do they ask you about your form or your workouts? Like, what kinds of questions do they ask you? Form and diet. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind if people acknowledge me at the gym and are respectful and say hi. But if somebody's trying to like get to know me personally, like they think we're at like a bar or a club, and they're like, "So, tell me about yourself." I'm usually very, very much, I make it very clear that I'm here to get a workout. I'm not here to meet people and socialize. Kim is not the militant one, and that's why we like Kim. Put the cookie down now. Same thing at the grocery store. Oh my gosh. I mean, I go to the grocery store. I don't enjoy, first of all, I'm not the type of person that ever enjoys shopping and buying things and just consuming. I feel like it's a chore. It's something I have to do. It's boring. It's mundane. I don't enjoy it. And I definitely don't go to a grocery store to meet people and to socialize. I have more friends than I can really handle. I don't have much free time to even do much with the friends that I do have. So I don't need to make new friends. I'm not at a grocery store to meet people. So yeah, it gets really annoying when people try to like make friends with me at a grocery store. I'm just not into it. I'm usually there to just get what I need and go out. I'm not there to socialize. It's different. Like if you're at a party or at a special event, yeah, I'm open to meeting people and socializing because that's what you do, go to those things for. You don't go to the store to meet people. At least I don't. I have gotten a few numbers at the grocery store, but only if they give me good body language or if they sense that I am confident at that moment. Interesting. Yeah. No, I wouldn't do it. I Yeah, that's usually what I do. I never try to give off that body language. I think when I was younger, I was probably like really nice, like too nice, and I would just try not to hurt anyone's feelings. But now I'm not worried about it being more assertive and just being, because you have to, because like if you give a guy an inch, he will take a mile. If you give them any slight indication that there's the possibility that you're interested in giving them your number or you're interested in them at all, they will take that and run with it. So I have to be firm when I say, I'm not interested in meeting new people right now, so I'm not giving you my number. You have to be firm, ladies. And these ladies watching, do not worry about, you have to also protect yourself. It's a stranger. You don't know what their intentions are. There's a lot of crazy people in the world. Sad but true. What are some good icebreakers when you get approached? You tell them, sister. Some good icebreakers? I mean, I wouldn't say like I, being yourself, I think, is what's going to attract somebody who actually likes you for you. If you're trying to be someone else and you're trying to like use like an icebreaker that someone else told you to say, you're trying to say something you read on some pickup artistry manual or something, you're not really being yourself. You're not being authentic. It's not coming from your heart. It's not coming from your mind organically. You're just trying to like play a character and manipulate someone into liking you. So if you really want a genuine connection and you really want someone to like you for you, you have to just be yourself. And women can be very intuitive, and women can tell when you're putting up a facade and trying to be Mr. Smooth or Mr. Cool, or when you're faking confidence. It actually takes confidence to admit when you're nervous, or to admit when you're afraid. It takes confidence to admit those things. So I'm way more attracted to a man who's just open and honest, and or anybody, whether they're trying to pursue me romantically or friendly, or I'm more interested in getting to know people who are comfortable being themselves, who are self-aware, self-actualized, and are authentic. So that's what I have to say about that. An icebreaker, you don't need to fabricate some contrived icebreaker. If you're really interested in somebody, just be yourself and speak from the heart. And if they don't like you, then, not everyone's going to like you in life. That's okay. Hopefully you won't waste time with someone who doesn't really like you. There's this artist, I think the guy's name was Nicholas Strauss or Nick Strauss or something like that. He wrote this whole book about picking up women and how he mastered the art of picking up women based on these weird subconscious mind games. They're very manipulative. And I think those techniques work on a certain age and a certain type of woman who's gullible, who's insecure, a certain type of woman who isn't that smart. I think it was Neil Strauss. I can't remember. But at the end of the book, he talks about how lonely he was and how deeply unfulfilled he was because he wasn't actually creating any real connection. He was creating these shallow connections that made him feel lonely because he wasn't really being himself. Does that make sense? What I have done before is call them a name of someone else and then sorry, I thought you were someone else. And if they're it's okay and seem welcoming, I try to talk more. Yeah, I feel like that's really silly. I wouldn't do that. If you really want to just meet somebody, just be yourself. Don't pretend like you know who they are. Unless you're doing it and you're openly admitting that you're playing a game or being silly or just trying to be funny, then that's fine, I guess. But if you're just doing it to kind of be funny, it's one thing. But if you're actually starting out a conversation with deceiving them right away, that's never a good way to start a genuine connection with deception. But if you're kind of doing it in a way hey, I know you're going to think this isn't, it's more of they're inside, they're on the inside of the joke too, then that's different. But yeah, if someone said that to me, I wouldn't be amused. I personally would not find that very amusing. It's all about emotional connection between two people, right, Mopar? And guys can underestimate how intuitive a woman actually is. Most women can tell when you're being fake. If she's smart, she's going to know when you're being fake and phony. I started doing this because I legit thought this girl was someone else. But it went smoothly. I really don't know. I think subconsciously we're all attracted to someone that we can procreate with because on a primal level, our primal instinct is to procreate on a very basic primal level. So we're naturally attracted to someone who looks healthy so we can procreate with them and create healthy offspring. That's our subconscious mind. So maybe tall subconsciously might, think, okay, this person is strong, this person is healthy, but I really don't know, the subconscious mind is something that we're still trying to figure out, so. Being tall and masculine has to give some bonus points, even if it's just a little. Yeah, you would think so, but everyone's a little different, Everyone's different. So for instance, an exception to that would be say a young girl was abused by someone who was really tall when she was a kid. She might naturally be unattracted to that because on a subconscious level, it reminds her of her abuser. There's always exceptions to those ideas. Easy. How tall are you? I'm 5'4". How tall are you? So Nightbot just shared my donation link. So all of you who watched my yoga class and who practiced along with me today, if any of the tools and techniques I shared were helpful to you, please click on that link and donate what you can. Even if it's just $1, it's still helpful. It just helps ensure that I can afford to continue to come on here instead of scheduling other work. So you can be a fat slob, but if you're funny and have resources, it can overwrite that. I don't know about that. It depends on the person. I think having a sense of humor and resources can be an attractive quality for sure. But being a fat slob, I don't know any woman who's going to be attracted to someone who doesn't have self-respect. And if you're looking for a long-term partner, you want to be with someone who's healthy, so they'll be alive for a while. So I don't know too many people that would be attracted to someone who doesn't have self-respect. I'm 5'7". Sometimes I hate being tall. Hey, I'm a girly man and people find me attractive. Yeah, John, that's the thing. Everyone has different preferences. You can't make generalized rules. What's attractive to me may not be attractive to someone else. I'm really lean and I used to be self-conscious about it, but some girls like skinny guys and some like tanks. This is true. 6'1". I think we have passed on society from those primal needs, or should be, and should focus on more an emotional connection between people. I agree with you, Mopar. Because we have a brain that's capable of functioning on a higher level beyond our primal instincts, why not embrace that? Why not embrace and explore what's beyond our primal instincts? That's a lot more interesting to me. I love being skinny. It makes me feel great. Maybe flat slob was too harsh. I'm 5'5", slightly fat friend who is funny and manipulative, and he pulls models. Obese is better word. Joking, I'm super macho. I know a guy who is a millionaire and obese, but dates hot, smart women. Again, there's always exceptions. But obesity is a serious health problem. Obesity leads to all kinds of cancer and heart failure. Obesity is not healthy. So, it's kind of sad that those women might just be taking advantage of him because he's rich and using him for money. John says, joking, I'm super macho. I don't even know what we're talking about. Yeah, I'm like, somehow the topic evolved to talking about like ways to engage in conversations and pick up women and attract a mate. He's had long-term relationships. I'm sure he has had hookups with gold diggers. Well, I hope he learns that obesity is one of the the most harmful things you can do for yourself. He probably won't live long if he stays obese. Yeah, I kind of think you're probably right, Unsolved Mystery. Chatting can go into weird places sometimes. Yes, yes, it can. Well, he may be smart in some ways, but if he's obese, I don't think that's very smart. He doesn't make the smartest choices when it comes to eating food. So, I mean, he may be smart in certain ways, but he definitely doesn't make smart choices when it comes to eating food and exercise. AFKB. What does that mean? Away from my keyboard. Away from my keyboard. Oh, gotcha. I'm still learning all these terms, like away from my keyboard. It's interesting you asked that Platinum. Um, as an actor, I get called in for a lot of mixed ethnicity roles. My agent will often send me auditions for part Asian, Hispanic, ethnically ambiguous. However, I never reveal my ethnicity on Twitch. But if you guess it correctly, I will tell you if it's correct. But I'm not going to openly say what it is. So if you want to guess, you're welcome. No, I'm not 100% Korean. Korean was wrong. Oh, you're mixed with Asian? Cool. I do take that as a compliment. I think Asian women are beautiful, so And smart. I don't know any Asian woman who isn't smart, actually. Every Asian woman I know is very smart. I like Spanish women. They are mixed most of the time. Yeah. I get called in for auditioning for Spanish roles. Are you in Cali? Um, Sorry, I'm distracted. I am not in Cali. I'm actually in Atlanta, Georgia. Oh, you have been to Atlanta, Georgia? Oh, North Georgia. Yeah. North Georgia is beautiful. Like I love the North Georgia mountains. They're a great place to go hiking and camping and yeah, hiking in the North Georgia mountains is really nice. It's beautiful. Where are you from, Vanquish? So plans for the weekend. So I have auditions I have to tape. I also am going to be performing in a Snow White party. So I'll have to be entertaining kids at a birthday party playing Snow White. My friend is having a housewarming birthday party. So I'll be working at a birthday party playing Snow White for kids, and then I'm going to go to an adult party. Sunday, I'm teaching a lot of classes, and then I got hired for another acting gig. So you're going hiking and canoeing. Oh gosh, that sounds like so much fun. Hiking and canoeing is such a wonderful outdoor activity. I love those things. Florida, the land of the free. Yes, I'm going to try to make time to rest at night. What is everyone else's weekend plans? Sorry, my agent is messaging me. Florida equals Disneyland gym. So you're going to the gym this weekend? Are you doing anything else? Anything leisure? Anything fun? Anything just to enjoy life? Maybe go out downtown? Oh, no, don't say that. So where are you from, Vanquish? Did you say where you were from? When you said Florida, is that where you're from? Florida, the land of the free? How hot is it in Florida right now? Okay. I have been to Florida many times. I've been to Sarasota, Florida. I've been to Destin, Florida. I've been to Myrtle Beach, Jacksonville. Lots of different areas of Florida. And I have, of course, been to Disney World. Yeah, I'm sure it's really hot there right now. I hate going outside in this weather. South Florida. Yeah. I can imagine. It's pretty hot. I take my shirt off walking from the parking lot to my home. You know who Andrew Huberman is? I do not know who Andrew Huberman is. Who is that? Oh, he does podcasts? Oh, he's a guest on the Joe Rogan show and has his own podcast, like a science best. Oh, yeah, that sounds right up my alley. Andrew Huberman. So is he like a doctor? Is he a scientist? Is he like, what gives him credibility? Is he a scientist? Oh, he's a neurologist. Interesting. So does he talk about like how the foods we eat affect our brain? Oh, cool. Interesting. Yeah, I'd love to check that out. Thank you for the recommendation. Neurochemistry. Yeah. So, Petey, are you still there? I realized we were going to do a Kriya and then we got sidetracked into some interesting conversation. Petey, are you still there? Taking notes. Oh, thanks for the info, Vanquish. This is his YouTube. I will totally check him out. I may have to, I'm flying to Austin, Texas next month, at the end of next month, to go see one of my acting teachers play. And just to visit Austin. It's a good excuse to go to Austin. So I'll probably be listening to podcasts a lot during the flight. So I'll check that out. And anytime I drive, sometimes I have to drive all the way to McDonough on Saturday, which is like an hour, nearly an hour from me, depending on traffic. So whenever I work princess parties, sometimes I have to travel for a while I'm working. So if I'm not like making silly songs in the car while I drive, I'll listen to podcasts. So maybe I'll listen to that podcast this weekend when I'm driving to work. Yo, you were sad when Joe Rogan went to Spotify? Yeah. Welcome to the internet. Quote by Bo Burnham. She wrote the book Dopamine Nation, which is really interesting. Yeah, how society is addicted to dopamine, and how whenever we get a text on our phone or we hear a sound, that releases dopamine in our brain. That's why we're so addicted to technology. Because technology, those sounds and things, it releases dopamine. Nope. But there's healthier ways of getting the dopamine release, like going outside in the sunshine and being in nature and giving someone a hug. That's more of like oxytocin and endorphins, but there's other ways to get dopamine releases that are healthier than technology all the time. So the Kriya, it's like breath of fire synchronized with an intense teetering up and down in hero's pose. Mula Bandha engaged on the inhale with eyes pointed up to the third eye. Yeah, I've done this before. So I've done that Kriya before, Petey. Yep, people are hooked on dopamine. This is true. Your brain releases dopamine when you're also laughing and engaging in interesting conversation. People think it's a feel-good chemical, but it's more so about getting the motivation to get things like food. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, so the dopamine is released, which triggers you into motivation. Interesting. Yeah, I'd love to learn more about it, for sure. Because sometimes it's easy to get confused between serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins, right? Serotonin, I know, if you go outside, you get sunlight, it helps balance the serotonin in your brain, which makes you happy. Endorphins definitely make you feel good, and oxytocin makes you feel good. But dopamine is slightly different, right? Oh, cool. Yeah, I'd love to check that out. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I think sunlight can definitely affect your mood because it affects the serotonin levels in your brain. But doing exercises and things like yoga releases endorphins, can also boost your immune system. I'm sure there's studies about how yoga affects your dopamine levels too. But I know it definitely affects endorphins and serotonin. Right. Yeah, we're naturally supposed to be out in the sun. Yeah, I think people who are afraid of the sun, it's just because they're afraid of sunburns or getting overly exposed. And that's the thing. Anything in excess is bad for you. But especially if you wear a little SPF protection and being out in the sun, yeah, it helps your body release its own vitamin D. You need a little sunlight every day. You don't have to get 6 hours of sunlight. If you're going to get 6 hours, you might want to put some SPF on. But moderation, you need a little sunlight at least every day. Speaking of which, I'm about to get that when we're done with our chit chat here. Hi, Sunny Boom. We were just talking about sunlight, and then Sunny Boom followed me. Thank you for following, Sunny Boom. Gardening today. So I was going to, so today, after we're done with our chat, I'm going to have to eat something healthy. Actually, I'm going to go out in the sun, fill up my cup a little bit, take a shower. Then I have to go teach an acting class. And then I'm working on a little short film later tonight. Tomorrow, I was planning on gardening, but I have to go get my car light fixed at some point. I have 2 auditions I have to tape. So I'll probably be spending most of my time working on those things tomorrow. I don't know if I'll have time for gardening. We'll see. The auditions may take up most of my time. And then Saturday, I have to work again, so I wanted to garden on Friday, but I don't know if it's going to happen because the auditions and getting my light fixed, since someone stole my corner light. I have to go to a junkyard because I want to get a cheap light. I don't want to spend a bunch of money. So I'm going to go to a junkyard and try to find a replacement light there. I would love to do gardening today. I just don't have the time. And my friends were not available. Coordinating our schedules to do the gardening together can be tough, but endorphins are more of the feel-good hormones. Exactly. When we mix it up with dopamine. Yeah. I know it's easy to get confused between, unless you're a neurologist or a scientist, it can be easy to confuse, wait, what's the difference between endorphins and dopamine and all those things? So, yeah, hopefully I'll find the part pretty easily. Did you have an athletic background before yoga? So I actually had a dance background and somewhat of an athletic background. So I've always been into health and fitness. So I grew up as a dancer, doing a lot of ballet, tap, jazz, things like that. And then I started really getting into working out at a very young age, actually. When I was in high school, I used to work out a lot. Doing all kinds of weightlifting, basically every type of fitness you can think of, I did it. I played a little sports as well, but I was never very competitive when it came to sports, just not into competing, just did it for fun and for exercise. But yeah, I used to go to the gym a lot, and I think what happened was So I was trying to burn fat, and because I was working out so much, if you work out too much, it triggers cortisol levels to rise because you're actually overly stressing your body. So if you work out too much, you're just creating stress in the body. You know how we were talking about recovery mode? If you work out too much, you don't have enough rest in between, you're stressing your body, and so your cortisol hormone rises, and when your cortisol rises, that basically triggers your body to store fat because it thinks it needs to store fat so you can keep working out so much and not die. So I think back when I was working out heavily, I was actually a little bigger, not that much bigger, just like a little bit, because I was pushing myself too hard and stressing myself. And since I got turned on to yoga, the breathing practices in yoga actually help activate your parasympathetic nervous system, so it lowers your stress hormones. So it basically triggers your body into a healthy state, a balanced state, so your body isn't trained to store fat, because working out too much is actually training your body to store fat. So I was really strong. I was always strong and had muscles and stuff. But I think when I was working out more, I was actually bigger. And since I've been practicing yoga, and yoga's been my main type of workout, I feel like I'm a lot leaner. But not that I try not to fixate on my appearance and the aesthetic look of my body. I try not to worry about that at all, and to focus more on how I feel on the inside. Do I feel energized? Do I feel alert? Do I feel comfortable when I'm moving throughout my day? Do I feel open? And do I feel good in my body? So I think that is more important to focus on than the external or the aesthetic look of your body. As long as I feel healthy and happy and vibrant, that's really what matters most to me now. Back when I was younger, I think I had it backwards. I was focused on the outward appearance and less on how I felt, because it matters more how you feel within. It really matters more how you feel within. Yeah, and genetics play a role into all of that as well. Like, a lot of us are genetically prone to store fat in certain areas. So that's something that, you only have so much control of, is genetics. But you do have some control over that as well. I wish I stored my fat in my body. I'm 5'10", 145 pounds. So you just probably have a naturally fast metabolism, which I wouldn't complain about that, because a lot of people are doing lots of things to try to speed up their metabolism. So I wouldn't complain about that if I were you. But this has been a great conversation, so I'm going to have to take off here pretty soon. I have to go teach an acting class, actually. So, but I've loved chatting with you, Vanquish. Petey, I'm sorry we didn't get time to do the Kriya today, but I'd love to do the Kriya next time. Next time we'll just do the Kriya right after our yoga practice. But if you do it on your own, feel free to shoot a message on Discord. Let me know how you feel. We'll do the Satnam Kriya. The Kriya takes 3 minutes, so we'll practice it together next time, if that's cool with you. Grass is always greener on the other side. But I just realized with traffic and everything, I'm going to need to take off here pretty soon to get to work. So if anything I shared today was helpful, please click the donation link, share. Even like a couple dollars would be helpful, whatever you can afford. Yeah. I also feel like it's good to be in the right mindset when you're doing a Kriya. And right now I'm a little worried that I'm not going to get to work on time. So probably wouldn't be the best time to do a Kriya. But I'm going to raid. And if you guys want to chat before our next session, remember, feel free to reach out to me on Discord, and I'll be back Tuesday, 12 p.m. Atlanta, Georgia time for more yoga and chatting every Tuesday and Thursday. So I hope to see you next week. And feel free to reach out to me in the meantime. We're going to raid Musaboot. Thank you, Mopar. Great to see you. Nice to see you, Petey. Thanks for the good chat, Vanquish, and everyone. Take care.